All right, we're heading into the game at the moment because the both players have started. I believe that we are starting with the first match, and we see the first two choices of the players. LB Dutch Boy indeed decides to go for the mage, and Arnie goes for the hunter. But it could also be a setup for the spectator. I don't know for sure.
No, I think this is fine. This is not the. I think LB Dutch Boy, he didn't pick the band class, and Arne didn't either. So I think they'll just play, and they are also mulliganing. So I think they would just not jump in the first game. Um, this matchup can go in favor of Freeze Mage, but it's going to be really difficult. You're running on a clock, so that Hunter power, Hero power is so huge against Freeze Mage. Even you can play around that Ice Barrier so well later in the game. And it's so hard to clear the minions of the Hunter. They have so many death rattles with the High Main, the Infested Wolf, things like that. And also a lot of bursts with the kill commands and the quick shots.
We see in the hands of LB Dutch Boy that Doomsayer to get some tempo early in the game. We also see another Loot Hoarder we can also play, and I believe that is a good decision. He has a little bit of tempo on the board, can contest the next minion that is going to come on there, and save the Doomsayer for turn 3.
Yeah, you don't have to play the Doomsayer yet. You have such a good early curve with the Loot Hoarders, the Novice Engineers. You even have the Frostbolt to eventually kill something. So you can still wait with the Doomsayer, maybe even save it to combine it with a Freeze. Really good start for LB Dutch Boy. And Arne, yeah, he has a pretty good curve with the 2 and the 3 drop, but yeah, that Loot Hoarder is doing a lot of work here.
Yeah, and looking at the hand of Arnie, he has 2 options here. He can play, has more options than 2, but he can go for the Animal Companion. But if he draws into Huffer, that is going to be not that good of a trade for him.
It's going to be painful. Yeah, it's going to be really painful if he rolls that Huffer, but he decides to go for it, and he gets punished for it. At least he deals 4 damage to the face, and forces LB Dutch Boy to trade his Loot Hoarder into the Huffer.
But that's exactly what you want to do with that Loot Hoarder.
Exactly. I don't think LB Dutch Boy mind doing that. And there's the Arcanemic. Yeah, LB Dutch Boy is curving out so well, and he also has a lot of bursts already in hand with that Emperor, so it's going to be really difficult for Arne to stop this.
So now on turn 4, going for that Infested Wolf. It will spawn 2 spiders if it dies, and those spiders are beasts, which is good news if you want to use the kill command or the Houndmaster, so that's good. But yeah, and there we see a secret for LB Dutch Boy this week production, which is myself, has made sure that we have some secrets to pop up if it happens to be played. So that's good.
Yeah, finally. What are we? Yeah, LB Dutch Boy decides to go for some card draw. Yeah, he has pretty high HP, so he doesn't have to play defensively yet. I think next turn he's maybe even going for that Frost Nova Doomsayer, or develops the secret in with the Doomsayer. But LB Dutch Boy has to find his Ice Block to give him that extra turn to burst the Arne down.
How scared are you right now as Arne for that Frost Nova Doomsayer turn? Because you can choose to play the Stranglehorn Tiger, but if you do, you're gonna feel pretty bad next turn.
The Frost Nova Doomsayer is not doing that much though. It will clear the board, but it will also give you 2 new 1/1s. And the good thing about that 1/1s, those are beasts. So you can buff them with Houndmaster, but they will also be an activator for kill command.
Yeah, but you can go for Stranglehorn Tiger or for Fury Bat and Huge Toad. Because if they die, they could both kill the Novice Engineers, but he decided to go for the Stranglethorn Tiger, which is the best tempo play, I believe.
Yeah, you have to play on curve. That's really important. It's also, yeah, Arne could also decide to use his hero power as much as he can. That hero power is so strong against Freeze Mage. Also, you can put him on 1 HP, and then you can just constantly press the hero power to remove that Ice Block and play around that Ice Barrier later on in the game.
So looking at the hand of LB Dutch Boy here, he is hovering over that Frost Nova, and Doomsayer is going for the clear, and I believe this is the right time to do so. You want to clear that stealth, that Tiger there, and those 2/2 are not gonna matter. Two 1/1s are not gonna matter that much.
But is Arne going for that deadly shot? He got a 33% chance of hitting that one. He could also decide to roll the Huffer again and then kill command on the Doomsayer. I don't know. But LB Dutch Boy want to clear the board, especially with that Emperor in hand. You want to play the Emperor on an empty board.
All right, yeah, and that's going to be good news for Arne if that happens, because he has a deadly shot. He's thinking about kill commanding the face, I believe, and using the hero power just to do some damage. Well, he has the mana for it, so puts LB Dutch Boy here on 15, and now we have almost a clear board, and we're gonna see the Emperor enter the board here for LB Dutch Boy.
Yeah, but we see already the perfect answer from for Arne with the deadly shot in hand.
But doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he deadly shots the Emperor, because the Emperor, you always get the value, and we see a lot of burst in the hand of LB Dutch Boy, so the value of the Emperor has been out there already. But the only problem here for...
Oh, and another Huffer. Ooh, and this makes it so scary for LB Dutch Boy. Especially with that Call of the Wild coming up. And we see in the hand of LB Dutch Boy no other board clear or freezes. Ooh, but there's the ice block.
Yeah, I was just about to say, the problem is he doesn't have ice block, but there it is indeed. He's going to put on 2 secrets, and let's see if production can manage.
Let me see if he goes for the double secret. I think he has to. I think you just go for double secret, ping away the Fury Bat. Hopefully, LB Dutch Boy is hoping that Arne cannot pop the ice block next turn, so he can play the Alex on turn 8 and then burst him down with Fireball, Frostbolt, Ice Lance, and Blood Mage Stelnose. But this looks really good for LB Dutch Boy. Oh wow, he even decides to Frostbolt the Huffer. Yeah, I think that's better. Because when you ping away the Fury Bat, you just remove 1 damage from the board because you get 1 damage to the face from the Death Rattle. But if you Frostbolt that Huffer... But is this enough? Is this enough to... No, right?
No, you have to...
8 and 4. No, it will leave LB Dutch Boy on 5 HP. So that means that this is going to be game for LB Dutch Boy. He's going to Alexstrasza the face of Arne and then burst him down with that Blood Mage Stelnose.
Yes, he definitely will. He now has 2 turns to play because of that ice block, and yeah.
This is game.
This is definitely gonna be game. Arne doesn't know it yet, but he now he has to decide. Okay, if he doesn't have the burst right now in the hand, what do I do? Do I clear the Alexstrasza or do I go face?
You have to do both. You have to clear. You have to remove the ice block. You can just trade away the bat and the 2/1 into the face. Leave the mage on 2 HP. Then you can just hero power into that the turn after. And you can trade the Huffer and the Misha into the Alexstrasza. You can even use the hero power and trade the Huffer and the bat into the Alexstrasza.
Maybe you want to keep that taunt, but yeah, it's just for Arne. He doesn't know that it's over already, and he has to try. Well, if it's not over next turn, that he can win using his hero power, but there could still be an ice block, of course, for LB Dutch Boy to be played. But yeah, he has to do everything to make sure that he wins as fast as possible, because that is what the mage is gonna do next turn. So he's waiting a long time here.
Yeah, he's waiting. Did he ducked out or something? I think he has a floating card book or something, I don't know. What did happen?
I have no idea, but the game was over before he bugged out, so yeah.
Yeah, even when he did something, he would have lost the game anyway, so... And this is the first game for LB Dutch Boy, but I'm curious if we instantly jump into the second game, but I see Arne is offline, am I right?
I cannot go to that screen right now, but yeah, we're back, and the mage of LB Dutch Boy wins, and I believe that he will be very happy about that one.
Yeah, it's really important to get that freeze mage win as fast as possible, especially against a bad matchup. Normally, the hunter is pretty bad because of the hero power and a lot of burst potential. But the curve of LB Dutch Boy was insanely strong. You had the current coin loot hoarder to trade with the 2-drop. You had the other loot hoarder to trade with the Huffer. You had the Doomsayers. You had the Emperor on turn 6, the Alexstrasza on turn 8, and then the burst on turn 9. You had like the insane curve what you're looking for as a mage. And Arne had no answer on that.
Oh, so now he has a shaman and the warrior left. Warrior can be pretty good against, if you luck out a little bit, against Zoo and shaman. And you can also win against the hunter, but that's a more rough matchup.
Yeah, you really want that mage into the warlock normally. That's normally the best shot you have. Well, I think he's pretty happy now that he won already with the freeze mage, and now we can finish it off with the shaman and the warrior.
Yeah, we both predicted that Arne was going to win this match, but now I'm feeling a little bit going over to the side of LB Dutch Boy, having a great curve here. But everything is possible, and that's Hearthstone, and that's what I love about the game, that everything can happen. Everyone can win from anyone, but the most consistent players, they land on the top. It's all about... it's not all about chance here.
No, the most important thing is that you're a consistent player. There's no way you're gonna win 10 tournaments in a row. That's impossible in Hearthstone. That's impossible in every single card game, in poker, in other cards like Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh. It's not possible to win 10 tournaments in a row. You need luck. But if you play 100% perfectly, your chances are so much higher to win something. And that's really important.
I always describe Hearthstone or poker as the best players make the most optimal choices in every situation. Even if it's a bad situation, they make the most optimal choice. And if you do that, you win more than people that don't do that. So and that's what we see here in also in the ESL Benelux Championship. We're just waiting for Arne to get back into the game. I have no idea what is going on. Maybe you have a little bit more information here, but
I will just ask the players what's going on.
Yeah, all right, that's good. So while we wait for Arne, let me inform you that this is the 5th week of the ESL Benelux Championship. We have 2 more weeks to go, and after that, the top 4 of the 8 players that are competing tonight will go to the finals in the Amsterdam Arena, and that will be played on the 7th of July. You can be at those finals. Marcella de B. Nasira will be the stage host. Pim and I will be your casters. And it's going to be an awesome day, because it's going to start at 12 in the morning up until 11 in the night. And there's going to be a lot of things to do. There's an expo that, of course, is Hearthstone. On the same day is also the finals of League of Legends. We have side competitions of Super Smash Bros, of FIFA, of Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of things to do, a lot of excitement. So I'm pretty hyped for it.
Yeah, so am I. It's always fun to be on an event like that. All the people are so chill. There are so many people who love gaming, who love esports, coming together, enjoy their hobbies, and watch esports. And I think it is always a great vibe on events like that.
So yeah, we have now Arne, who is having a little bit of problems, I believe. What does that do to a player? Is he a little bit stressed now because of technical problems? Is it going to influence his way he's playing, his mindset?
Maybe a little. I think Arne is experienced enough to not let it bother him. But it's always annoying when something happens like that, especially because people are waiting for you. If you disconnect during a game and you lose the game because of that, or you cannot play anymore. So what? So be it. Okay, get over it, and we go tomorrow. We play another game. But for now, he knows LB Dutch Boy is waiting for him. He knows he's waiting. We are waiting for him, and maybe it's just stressing him a little bit out. But I think Arne is experienced enough to shake it off him and just play the next game, play optimal again, and take the win home.
Talking about the next game, the mulligan is happening here. It's gonna be the Warlock from Arne versus the Warrior of LB Dutch Boy, and this is gonna be an exciting match, because this is gonna be pivotal, because you see a Blood-2 Iker, Ariatu Weaponsmith, and the Ravaging Ghoul here in the hand of LB Dutch Boy, and that Ravaging Ghoul is gonna be might be pretty important if it comes in the hand back again later on. Why does he mulligan that Ravaging Ghoul away?
I've literally no clue. I think you always keep that Ravaging Ghoul. Maybe it was hard mulligan for the Fiery War Axe, because that card is even more important. But the Ravaging Ghoul is so strong against Zoo, especially when they play like Forbidden Rituals or play Abusive Sergeant with Possessed Villagers, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
What you know as a warrior against Zoo is normally not keeping their Flame Imps or their Void Walkers, because they will know they will hard mulligan for War Axe. I will just give it away to the War Axe. So I'd rather have the Possessed Villager. That works 10 times better against War Axe. So if LB Dutch was a little bit smart, he would have known that and kept the Ravaging Ghoul.
Yeah, I always like to keep that possessed villager. It's awesome, but we see that LB Dutch Boy draws into the armor smith, and that is exactly what he needed against that possessed villager. It can get a little bit of armor, a little bit of life, and it can pretty good deal with that possessed villager. But also a good player from Arne on turn 2, coining out that Imp gang boss that is going to be pretty annoying. It's going to spawn a lot of 1/1s.
Yes.
And also a good with the possessed villager is power overwhelming.
Yeah, the possessed villager is so strong. It will always leave you up with at least 1 million the turn after. And look how much value you got from the possessed villager. The possessed villager put the armor smith on 3 HP, so he could make a value trade with the Imp gang boss a turn later. And you also could use the death rattled minion for the PO to clear off the frauding. So much value for Arne there, and LB Dutch Boy is now in a spot. Is like he has 2 Blood Strikers that are pretty useless here, and also that Korkon is not doing a lot. I think he has to use his Korkon to kill off the Direwolf out. But when he had that Ravaging Ghoul here, he could have Blood Striker the Direwolf and play Ghoul.
Yeah, and that would have been a great play contesting the board. But now he has a difficult choice to make. You could also do an execute on the Imp gang boss. But would that be a little bit of an overkill?
You could do that, but you're not that far behind yet, and sometimes you want to save that executes later on for councilments. Those are way more scary. And you only have like 2 executes in your entire deck. Those are your only removals, so you have to be... you have to take care of those. You cannot play them instantly on every single turn. You only have 2 of them, so...
Alright. So I want to get a little bit in the head of Arne right now. You have 2 one mana minions in your hand. You have your Gormok. What do? Do you tap and then go for Defender of Argus? And why would you do that?
The most important thing is against warriors that you don't overextend. And that you tap as much as possible. So if you're on board, try to tap, play some 1-drops, but just don't play 7 minions or 6 minions. They have so many potential to clear everything with the double Ravaging Ghoul, with the Whirlwind Ravaging Ghoul, maybe even Ghoul Execute, something like that. And when you overextend and you lose the board against warrior, you will instantly lose the game. But if you just play it safely, tap every single turn, you won't run out of cards. You can even rebuild the board after a Ravaging Ghoul turn, so Arne is doing this really well. Just don't overextend.
Yeah, alright, so that's a pretty good explanation of what you can do here. It's going to play the Tempo Gormok and use it power overwhelming with that possessed villager, and yeah, that card is the combination of those cards is so good.
Yeah, it will leave him up with at least with a 1/1 and a 4/4. Even though you didn't get the value out of the Gormok, you still have that 4/4 body on the board. Yeah, and LB Dutch Boy has only a Malkorok and a Grommash in hand, yeah, and that looks really, really bad for him. But if he can get 1 good weapon out of Malkorok, he can maybe make a little bit of a comeback there.
Yeah, the weapon is pretty important. You don't want to draw in Lights of Justice or a Cursed Blade. But with the Defender of Argus being played, just removing the board on the side of LB Dutch Boy and, well, trying to get some damage in finally here.
Yeah, and is Arne going for the value trade, or does he value the Gormok 5, the Gormok health more than that 2/2? No, he's going for the value trade. I think it's the best player. Wow, now LB Dodger has some big minions coming up for Arne. What is he getting? Cursed Blade? Is it happening? No, and just a Fiery War Axe. The weapon he was looking for in the early game, but still gets it from the Malkorok. Maybe the Malkorok stole it out of the deck to bring it on the field later on.
Yeah, so now you have a little bit of options here as Arne. But you said you have to tap as much as possible against the warrior. Do you first play Dark Peddler and then tap? Or do you play...
First Peddler, see what you get from the Peddler. Maybe you get a Power Overwhelming or some cards you want to play first before you tap.
So, yeah.
He's going for the Imp. Yeah, I think choosing the Imp is the biggest body on the board. You're all still on 26 HP, so the 3 damage to the face doesn't matter that much at this point. But now he has to tap first, I guess. Or he's going for Flame Imp, Defender of Argus. That's also a possibility, though.
Flame Imp, Defender of Argus, making sure that you block the incoming damage from that Malkorok.
Yeah.
But we also see in the hand of LB Dutch Boy here, Grommash. So that's going to be pretty annoying if he decides to play the defender of Argus. He gets blocked a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think the Gromage is just gonna be used as a removal, and Arne is gonna try to hammer him down now. He's probably going face here. He put him on 18, and he also has still 4 damage burst in it with the Soulfire, and there's probably still Leroy and Argent Horse Riders, and even Power Overwhelmings in the deck. So a lot of burst left in the deck of Arne, yeah, and LB Dutchboy only has his big cards in hand, so even that variant looks pretty good, but he already draw all his big minions there.
Yeah, I believe that only if he has it, the Ragnaros is missing, but they come at the right time. So if he can stabilize a little bit, that variant could be pretty big. So he destroys almost the whole board here of Arne, and he has drawn both of his Power Overwhelmings, and he didn't get a Power Overwhelming from the Dark Peddler, so I believe that he can only burst for 10 if he draws into the Leroy. And now this is going to be a difficult situation here for Arne, because he has to use that Soulfire to clear.
Yeah, he's probably using the Soulfire to clear instead of using it for burst. But it's so awkward. You want to remove the Gromage, but you cannot Soulfire it. So probably he's going for the Soulfire on the Melkrok. Yeah, Arne is like, he wants to play his entire hand and then play Soulfire, but that's not possible. You cannot go for Flame Imp, Voidwalker, Rituals, because Rituals will remove all your mana, so you cannot play Soulfire behind that. Or is he going for the Soulfire first? He's not going for it.
So he's playing to win.
Yeah, definitely.
He's
He has lethal on board now, so really scary for LB Dutchboy here. He finds the slam, but that's not doing it right, and he's only on 9 mana.
Yeah, so but if he slams and he finds a Ravaging Ghoul, that is going to be an insane turn.
Yeah, that would be sick.
So he will be looking for Whirlwind Effect, and that slam. Yeah, you have to slam down that Voidwalker here. Or is he not? Oh, he's going to go for...
I would have probably slammed the Voidwalker too, because when you find that Ravaging Ghoul, you could deal 16 damage to the face.
Yeah, now he finds that Ariati Weaponsmith.
Yes. Is he going to remove something, or is he going face? I don't think you trade here. I think you just go face with the weapon. You remove 2 damage, but you will still gain 2 damage. And if you go face for 2, you set up for lethal next turn. Way easier.
So there's no lethal here for Arne.
And another town. But that's not what Arne is looking for. Yeah, at least he can play his entire hand and the Soulfire on the Gromage. Yeah. Ooh, that's really strong. I think you Soulfire first. Oh no, you can't. Otherwise you will lose your Flame Imp here.
Yeah.
Is he gonna snipe the Melkrok? Come on. Arne did some sniping with the rack, and he did it again.
That was an insane percentage of doing it, and now he has a Soulfire. He can clear off the Gromage. And it can even clear out the whole board if he wants to, and have enough damage to go to the face. Because yeah, if LB Dutchboy draws into that Ravaging Ghoul or another Whirlwind Effect, then you lose your board, and it's gonna look pretty bad for you. But we see the variant here for LB Dutchboy, and let's see what he draws into. He goes for the first card is going to be Acolyte of Pain. Then he goes to a Battle Rage and Frothing Berserker.
Wow, what an awful variant. He was looking for that Blood of Braves. Wow. Otherwise, it's gonna be really difficult for him. And Arne still doesn't have the damage yet. But can he make a lethal with Knife Juggler? How many juggles does he have? He's not going for it though. A little bit scared. Ooh, and there's that Ravaging Ghoul he was looking for. I think he's pretty happy to see it now and not from the variant. Because when the variant puts us in the field, the battle cry will not go off.
Yeah, but we first see the Knife Juggles here from Arne, and he doesn't have enough juggles to kill him off. He will not play that Flame Imp because he wants to stay as high on health as possible, I believe, and that's why he's not playing it. If he drops down to 11, and let's see if LB Dutchboy finds a way to clear that Voidwalker. He could be dead.
Korkrons are pretty scary. I think Arne is thinking about Korkron Elite here. If he plays Flame Imp and LB Dutchboy has like a Whirlwind trade on it, that 11 damage is gonna get so easy. He plays 2 Korkrons, and he didn't see any of them, so... Big chance of seeing that. Ooh, an even better rage. Can he find that second whirlwind effect here? Ooh, a taunt. That's really important. And the armor smith. Ooh, so he can get some life back. He can even taunt up here. Really good for LB Dutchboy there.
And right now, do you go for the trade just to make sure that those knives don't fly to your face?
Yeah, you definitely trade there. You set up for lethal anyway next turn. You have like 10 damage on board. You can probably activate the Blood of Brave. Even Arne can activate it.
Yeah. So yeah, we see that Mortal Coil. He has to Mortal Coil his own minion here.
Wow.
Hoping to find something, but it's the Darkshire Councilman. That's not going to be it, and that means that LB Dutchboy will be 2-0 here.
Wow, what a comeback from LB Dutchboy. It looked like Arne was taking this win, but LB Dutchboy managed to swing the board with that Gromage and the Melkorok. And also that variant did a lot of work, gave him some extra cards to deal with the board of Arne. And Arne couldn't find his... Leroy couldn't find his second power overwhelm to finish off the game. He was so close to it, but LB Dutchboy managed to win it, and it's now 2-0 for LB Dutchboy.
Yeah, and he managed to win his not his best matchups as well.
No.
So he's in a good way to winning this whole game. Yeah, and now he only has to win with a Shaman. We're going to go into a match. It's going to be that Zoo versus a Shaman, and I believe that it's the best option here for Arne. He wants to start off with a Zoo, but he has to find ways to get control of the board. Possessed Villager is good.
Yeah, Possessed Villager is really strong, especially when you can find it together with the... Ooh, and Arne does a full keep. I think that makes sense. You want to play that Possessed Villager on turn 1. And when LB Dutchboy coins out that Totem Golem, you can just Soulfire it away. But Arne decides to go for Voidwalker, maybe? I don't know. He's thinking about what to do here.
So yeah, if the... What would the Voidwalker achieve that the Possessed Villager wouldn't? That's what I'm thinking about. Cause
it's both 1 damage, but that Possessed Villager is way more sticky and cannot be killed by Lightning Bolt and Rock Biter. So I think the Possessed Villager is way better than the Voidwalker here.
But the moment that you want a Voidwalker will be when he plays an Argent Squire, right?
Yeah, but still the Possessed Villager deals with that. This is exactly the point where we were talking about. Coining out that Totem Golem, and now Arne can go for that Possessed Villager Soulfire. And LB Dutchboy is not happy of seeing that, I guess.
No, but Arne also will not be happy seeing that he draws into that Leroy Jenkins while he wants to Soulfire. Because if he plays Possessed Villager Soulfire, he will discard his Dark Peller or his Leroy Jenkins. So yeah, it's anyway going to be a hard turn here for Arne.
I think Arne will be really happy to see when his Leroy Jenkins is going to be discarded. Normally, you win this matchup on board control and not of bursting him down. With Dark Peddler, you can get that extra power overwhelm. You can get maybe an Elven Archer to make a good trade on the board. And we see LB Dutchboy playing and the Thunderblood Valiant, but also that Fire Elemental. So this deck is so mid-range oriented. So I think there will be at least 2 Lightning Storms in this deck.
I'm thinking about the whole reasoning of playing that Voidwalker at the start of the game. Could it be that he wanted to protect his how you call it? I'm not thinking about the Dark Peddler here. Maybe he wanted to protect his Dark Peddler for that. I don't know.
I don't think. Yeah, maybe it was like. I have no clue. I have literally no clue why he played it. In the end, I didn't think it mattered that much though, because on turn 2 he played both anyway. But I don't know. And Arne's hand looks so bad. Yeah, he has that Argent Horse Rider to clear off that 2-3, but it will only leave him up with a 2-1 on the board. And then LB Dutchboy, his big minions are coming out in 2 turns with the thing from below, the Fire Elemental and the Thunderblood Valiant. And Arne didn't have any board control yet.
So this game is looking better and better for LB Dutchboy. That Harrison Jones is not going to do anything, so it could be played as tempo next turn. Is he going to play that Flame Tongue Totem? That is the question. If he does, then Arne has the right answer for it.
Yeah, he has the perfect answer for it with that Crazed Alchemist. That's so huge to play the Alchemist on a Flame Tongue Totem or a Mana
Oh, and he doesn't
Totem.
even attack here.
He can't.
Oh, he couldn't. He couldn't.
No,
Oh,
he
right. Sorry,
just
my
played
bad.
The healing totem. That's not possible.
I was like, what is he doing? my mistake.
You
So,
cannot cheat, Mr. Bart.
no, so now Arne has a chance to come back on the board, and LB Dutch Boy will be sad to see that Crazed Alchemist was in the hand of Arne. And, well, now he can play or that Harrison or the thing from below, but he's going for Thunderblood Valiant here.
I don't really like that. He could just totem up and play the thing from below, right, for 2 mana. It's the same amount of damage on the board, but you want to play that Thunderblood Valiant at turn 7 to at least combo it with a totem, so you get some value out of it. You could perfectly curve with a totem thing from below, next turn go for Fire Element, but now the Power Overwhelm will just remove that Thunderblood Valiant and you will lose the board so hard.
You could even use Abusive Sergeant here, but that goes for the Power Overwhelming on the Horse Rider and fills up the board with 1/1s, and now it's just hoping that LB Dutch Boy doesn't have the Lightning Storm in hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arne's game is looking pretty good, but yeah, that Fire Elemental is going to be big.
Yeah, he's removing that 2/2 for free and also leaves him up with a 6/5 minion. Oh, and there's another Power Overwhelm, but is he going for it or does he decide to keep it for some extra burst? He could just clear it with an Abusive. Ooh, he can even go for... he decides to go for Power. I don't really like this. He could have gone for Abusive, trade Mordecai, draw at least another card. Maybe draw into another Peddler or something. Or does this set up for lethal? No, right?
Well, he has, let's see,
8 in the hand,
12.
and 8 on the board, so that's 16. But we already see LB Dutch Boy playing that 2 mana 5/5 down. So much value from that for 2 mana.
Yeah, but with that Abusive Sergeant and that Mortal Coil, that's gonna take care of that thing from below. Yeah. Maybe Arne was like, okay, you don't have Lightning Storm. I don't want to trade that many minions here. I just want to go face and keep as much minions as possible. Just go for that Power Overwhelming and keep the board while there is no Lightning Storm. Maybe that was the reasoning behind it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and Arne knows for 100% sure now there's no Lightning Storm in the hand of LB Dutch Boy. Otherwise, it would have been played 100%. And Arne can just take over the board now. Can clear him almost everything and get even some value out of his Mortal Coil. Get another card in. Gormok would be an insane draw for Arne here. But it's a Flame Imp though. Can still tap into... Ooh, Direwolf off. I think you just push face now. You know there's no Lightning Storm in the hand of LB Dutch Boy. Maybe you just remove that totem though. So, oh wow, he decides to trade everything. I don't really like that. Why wouldn't you just go face here? You know there's no Lightning Storm. The chance he's gonna draw is like a 1 in 8. And now you don't really set up for lethal, right? Or do you? You still set up for lethal though.
Alright, so that is, yes. 5/12.
That's a lot of damage. 7 damage from Leroy because he could place it next to the Direwolf.
But there it is, the draw that LB Dutch Boy was looking for, the Lightning Storm, and now the trading of Arne could bite him in the back. So is the Argent Defender of Argus is not gonna live, and now great tempo play here.
Yeah, and he could even play the Harrison with that. And Arne must be like, oh my god, is this really happening to me? And now he has to play a Night Juggler, double Flame Imp, and deal 6 damage to his own face. And now he's in that position that he can die from like double Lava Burst or Doomhammer Rockbiter. Is Arne counting it?
Yeah, that would be insane if that would be in the hand of LB Dutch Boy. Yeah, I believe that he is afraid of dying, but you cannot be that afraid. You have to go for the win here. You cannot wait any longer. You have to do that damage. He decided not to do it earlier on. He decided to trade, but now he has to go for it. 14 damage. That is a Leroy Jenkins plus 2 Power Overwhelmings, and we see a Doomhammer here.
There it is, the Doomhammer. And if LB Dutch Boy decides to remove that Night Juggler, there's no lethal for Arne. Am I right?
Well, now he removes both Flame Imps, and now there can be lethal for Arne if he draws into.
Not enough. He has to get. Still no lethal there for Arne.
So you just play Gormok and Imp Gang Boss here?
I guess so. But is there lethal for LB Dutch Boy though? He has 9 damage on board. He can buff for 2.
He's
On the-
2 off, right? Of 1 off.
7-11. Oh, and there's a taunt.
There is a town.
Wow.
That can be played for free, but yeah, if he plays, if he does Temic Call, he gets 2 totems, and 7 + 4 is
Yeah, but
11.
it will save him. It will save him at least.
Yeah.
You can play that thing from below. Play Hex on the Imgang boss or the Gormok. Trade away everything with the Doomhammer. Roll totem, roll Town Totem, and then you will win the game afterwards. No Town Totem there, but can still remove everything. You can even play Primal Fusion to buff that thing from below to 7-7, and it will be safe for the Leroy Jenkins.
All right. So let's see what LB Dutch Boy is gonna do. He is not gonna hex the Imgang boss. He's gonna hex the Gormok here. That makes it 0-1 ton. And yeah, Primal Fusion on the healing totem.
I don't know. I don't really like the buff on the healing totem. I would have buffed the thing from below for 100% sure. You want to have it that...
So how does he win? If he clears the thing from below, he cannot win. So there's the Void Walker. That's not gonna be it for Arne here.
But if there's if there's like a power overwhelming with it, if he picked up 2 buffs like abusive and power overwhelming, he would have won the game, right? But if he buffed the thing from below till 7-7, that Leroy couldn't kill it, but also a power overwhelming in gang boss couldn't kill it.
Yeah, but now the decision of yeah, well, that's not gonna do it.
You see if that Void Walker was a power overwhelming or something like another abusive, Arne would have lost. Of LB Dodgeball would have lost.
All right, so that's 3-0 for not for Arne.
No,
It's
for LB
3-0 for
Dodgeball.
LB Dodgeball. I'm putting the wrong score at the wrong place here.
Yeah, man.
That's my bad. Sorry, people.